The 12th General Council of the Church, the 4th Lateran Council. The Pope who called this council was Pope Innocent III. This 4th Council of the Lateran was the culminating act of Innocent's 18 years of rule. Church historians consider Innocent III as one of the greatest popes of the Catholic Church. He was born Lotario de Conti in 1160 AD. He received his basic education in Rome, studied theology in Paris and law in Bologna. When Pope Celestine died, Lotario came to Rome as a cardinal to take part in the papal elections. He was elected pope and he took the name Innocent III. At that time, he was only 37 years old. His 18 years of papacy was very eventful. He excommunicated King Philip of France and placed the whole country on interdict because the king sent away his lawful wife and took a concubine. Although when the king did the right thing, the interdict was lifted. He deposed Emperor Otto and defeated him in the Battle of Bovines. There was scarcely a country in Europe over which Innocent did not in some way assert the supremacy of the papacy. He stood with the people of Norway against their tyrannical king and undertook the Fourth Crusade to recover the Holy Land. It was Innocent III who approved the new orders of the Franciscans and the Dominicans. He achieved other things that are not said here, but the most important achievement of the Pope was the calling of the 12th General Council of the Church. The immediate cause for this council was the two heresies, namely the Manichees and the Albigenses. The Manichees were the followers of Mani, which is the Persian word meaning illustrious, whose actual name was Ubricus. He was born in 215 AD in Babylon. His father was a preacher in a religious sect known as the Mendans. They were a kind of idol worshippers who abstained from meat, wine, and women. Even marriage was a sin to them. Unfortunately, Mani met his death in Babylon. When his arrest was ordered by King Brian, he was crucified in that same city in Babylon. According to Mani, there were two mighty powers, the 81 good God and the evil God. All good in the world came from the good God, while all the evil came from the evil God. He taught the people to follow the good God by keeping the commandments which forbade idolatry, lying, avarice, murder, fornication, theft, seduction, magic, hypocrisy, and indifference to his teaching. All members are bound by the 10 commandments. There were two classes of followers, the elect or the perfect and the hearers. Only 1% of these people belonged to the elect. They were forbidden to settle anywhere, to marry, to own property, to eat meat or drink wine, and they were not also allowed to practice magic. For their salvation, they had to undergo a ritual death by starvation. When an elect had made up his mind to die, he abstains from food and drink till he dies. In order that the person might not lapse from this abstinence, other members of the elect stood around his bed to keep him away from breaking the fast. There was also Albigensian heretics. It was an offshoot of the Manichees. It got its name from Albi, a city in southern France where it began in the early 11th century. It had the same commandments of Mani as the rule of life. They too had the elect and the hearers. They had bishops and priests elected from the elect only. Death of an elect was by starvation or by poisoning. Although these heresies and paganism came to an end as early as 4th century and finally disappeared in the 14th century. The bull for calling the 4th Council of the Lateran was sent to all bishops on the 19th of April 1213 AD. The date of the opening was fixed for 1st of November 1125 AD. There were 420 bishops and 800 abbots and priests. There were 3 public sessions on the 11th, 20th and 30th of November. In all, 70 canons were passed. The first canon was the condemnation of the Manichees and the Albigenses. It condemned the theory of the good and the evil God and stated, there is only one true God, and Christ our Lord, true God and true man. In the canon dealing with the Eucharist, for the first time, the word transubstantiation was used to explain the sacrament, and it was said that only priests who were duly ordained could effect this sacrament. Against the heretics, another canon stated the sacramentality and holiness of marriage. There are other canons about clergy and bishops. Finally, on the 2nd of December 1215 AD, the 12th General Council of the Church, the 4th Council of the Lateran, came